So when we're looking at those top questions, so what are our different resources? We would use our LSI tracker, right? Think about that very first question. What's the different resources you guys have available to get to the heart of what is the big learning and what is the standard really about and how is the standard unique to my grade level?
Yeah, we need to, well, I guess we have to look at the other grades standards.
Yeah.
So it sounds like in ours, they just have to be able to differentiate between first and second hand.
Yeah.
They're not like comparing and contrasting.
They just need to know what's first hand, what's second hand, and what the difference might be.
So we were going to discuss how primary source lends itself to first-hand account and secondary source lends itself to second-hand account.
And so the macro is the most, and so then if it's a few kids, you're supposed to not rescue, but refer them to their teammates.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if it's a whole team, split them out to go to another team, something
That'd be
like
too.
that.
If you notice one team's isn't getting
Go
it, the
talk
other team
to-
is, like, hey, go check out blue team
So,
Well, I was trying to figure out what level
for the
this number
scaffolding
2
question.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Is it at analysis
I
if
don't
they're
think it is.
no,
So is it
because
still
they're just
comprehension?
looking at one.
It's still at
Until you
comprehension.
get down where it's talking about similarity and differences of the same topic and they're having to analyze those differences, I think it's gonna stay
However,
confidential.
we don't have it being something about the topic. Whatever, 5th grade is the one who does that.
So talking down here where it says, I can determine how a first-hand account and second account on the same topic or event are similar, then the next one says how they're different. So when they start comparing and contrasting that same text,
Mhm.
I think we're about to get to that. Can we look at the next mini
Right,
lesson?
so-
Yeah.
Okay, because we have had times where it's a brand new standard and we think, well, we can't even do a little short intro thing.
and Vicky's big thing was, what evidence do you have to support this teaching decision? Because one of the things she encouraged is do not be afraid to give kids a task that is at the intent of the standard. Like for this example, you could give them an analysis level task to see what they do with it and then kind of scaffold back if based on that evidence. So don't always think it's a new standard, kids can't do it unless you have evidence to support
Okay.
that. So that's kind of
Okay.
what she told us to stay with that.
You could enter at that level if you thought kids would get it at that level
Right.
without that chunk ahead of it.
Yeah.
And like, I might say my primes group could,
Yeah.
but can I
You could do different. with your-
different with one?
Certainly.
You certainly
See,
could.
for me, I know like my kids are
Yeah,
gonna
both
need
of
that
your groups are
because
down.
my groups are both low, and I might even do in my small group that week a standard base sort, so that way in small group that's where they're getting the extra. So I feel like it really helped me understand the mini lesson as far as it being teaching point, scaffolded task, teaching point, scaffolded task, like that real bubble structure, and then also just the deep thinking, making sure you understand what they have to do in order to hit the standard. It just helps me like when I'm verifying with them and everything.
On top of better understanding it for myself, I feel like our lessons were probably better aligned to each other's, having planned so deeply together.
And then
So how do you see this planning process going forward? Like, how do you plan to continue it and also share it with your other teammates?
So we're kind of already ahead. So like we discussed last week, our lessons coming up, we kind of made a quick little plan together, and then this weekend we all kind of helped type out the lessons, and then today and tomorrow we plan on really going through it step by step like we did together to make it so it is all very aligned, very specific. We all know exactly what to do and what we need to verify, just because it helps a lot to be like exactly the same and understanding what we're doing better.
Because we
So-
always plan content together,
Mhm.
but we don't always get to those really deep questions
Yeah.
that helped our rooms go so similarly and
Similar,
smoothly.
yeah.
So I think we need to focus more on that part moving forward.
Yeah. Same.